Hey, Shalom. First, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hope elect, the house of David. Let's get into this. So, not too long ago, we had read the book of Esther, right? And a thought came to me, for a lesson. And I wanted to title it, Mordecai up next. Mordecai up next, and in this video, I'm referencing Mordecai to Jacob, Israel. Because what? We're up next. We're up next. This man, Esau Edom, is in his building phase, and the Most High said he will throw down. When they all try to build, they say they will build the desolate places, but what? He said he gonna throw them down. He's gonna throw down these people. He's gonna throw down these people, and once they thrown down, who's gonna reign next? Who's gonna be up next? Jacob, Israel. And I'm gonna get that. This is Genesis chapter 25, verse 26. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took on hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob, and Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. You see, Esau had came out first. Let me read that over again. I'm going to read verse 25. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old. 80 years old when he. Excuse me. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. Now the reason why it just identified Esau's color, because there was no need to identify Jacob's color. Say if everybody was on the planet was blue, right? And you heard your sister. She was with twins, right? She was with twins. And when you heard about the deliverance, they said the firstborn came out green. Now everybody on the planet is blue. And she said she was about to have twins. And she said the firstborn came out green. Common sense, common knowledge would tell you that the other child will be blue. The whole world, I don't know how I said it, but like everybody else on the planet, it was all like green, right? Or blue. I effed up the point. But you know what I'm saying. If everybody on the planet was let me just say blue, right? Let me say it again, let me correct myself. If everybody on the planet was blue, and your sister was about to have twins, and she said one of them came out green. She said the firstborn came out green, what would common sense tell you? The other child was blue. I'm just saying, so that was an identification of who this man is. Who's that red man? Esau. His skin is this man is not white. This is what they call themselves. You got to think. Have you ever seen a man outside, or a so-called white man inside of the sun, outside in the sun or in that heat? Even a child, they become red. Now they was born outside, in a tent. Well, I'm speculating this part. In a tent, in the or probably like, cause they was on the move. Boy, they was always on the move. I think in this land, I think they was settled for a while. But being in a tent or in a house, they didn't have no air conditioning units and stuff like that. So the inside was like the outside, somewhat like the outside, It was in them elements. So that child would have came out red. But anyway, yeah, Jacob held the heel of Esau, representing that after this man's fall, immediately without break, that Jacob will be in rulership. That Jacob will become in rulership. And that's I'm gonna get that example in Esther, That's why I want to name this video Mordecai up next. Because everything they think to do for themselves, it will be done to Jacob. It will be done to Jacob. All those good things they got planned for themselves, nah, that's for us. That's for us. And let me get this. Crap. This is Esther chapter 6. Starting at verse 5. And the king's servant said unto him, Behold, Haman standeth in the court. And the king said, Let him come in. So Haman came in, and the king said unto him, What shall be done unto the man whom the king delighted to honor? Now, Haman thought in his heart, to whom would the king delight to do honor more than to himself? And Haman answered the king, For the man whom the king delighted to honor, let the royal apparel be brought, which the king used to wear, and the horse that the king rideth upon, and the crown royal which is set upon his head. And let this apparel and horse be delivered to the hand of whom the king's most noble princes, that they may array the man withal whom the king delighted to honor, and bring him on horseback through the streets of the city, and proclaim before him, Thus shall be done to the man whom the king delighted to honor. Then the king said to Haman, Make haste and take the apparel and the horse as thou hast said, and do even so to Mordecai the Jew that sitteth at the king's gate. Let nothing fail of all that thou hast spoken. Then took Haman the apparel and horse, and arrayed Mordecai, and brought him on horseback through the streets of the city, and proclaimed before him, Thus shall it be done unto the man whom the king delighted to honor. And Mordecai came again to the king's gate, but Haman hasted to his house, mourning and having his head covered. Now you see that? All those delights that Haman, and he was the Amalekite. He was an Amalekite, so there was Esau. had said all those things, all the good things that were gonna happen. He wanted to happen to him, but guess who it happened to? It happened to Jacob. Because we're gonna go back and say, we're gonna go back to verse 6. So Haman came in and said unto King, wait, yeah, yeah. So Haman came in, and the king said unto him, what shall be done unto the man whom the king delighted to honor? And what did the scripture say? It is the Most High's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Huh? It is the Most High's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Yes. What did the king ask? And the king said unto him, what shall be done unto the man whom the king delighted to honor? Now Haman thought in his heart, to whom would the king delight to do honor more than to himself? You know? You know? And once he said, do this to Mordecai, it was Haman who had to lead the horse while Mordecai sat upon it. What? Representing servitude. Representing servitude. So what? The elder will serve the younger. You know? The elder will serve the younger. You know, Mordecai up next. He's not going to be serving in the kingdom. You know? You know? Each time they try to do something against us, that's going to glorify them. Nah, the Most High is going to interrupt them. He going to flip them tables over. He going to be like, nah, all that you try to do, all that good you try to do for yourself and evil you try to do to them, I'm going to switch it up. The good will be done to them and the evil will be done to you. You know? You know? Check this out. We're going to get them other scriptures. Listen. This is Psalms. I think I got the wrong. 49 and verse 11. Listen. Yeah. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling place to all generations. They call their lands after their own name. Nevertheless, man being honored abide not, and honor abide not, he is like the beasts that perish. You know, no, that's all I wanted. This verse 11 again. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generation, and they call their lands after their own names. But now listen, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, but it's not. Guess whose house is going to continue forever? Jacob's house is going to continue forever. And they're going to be calling their lands after their names. You know? A brother and his wife might inherit a planet, and they name the cities and the lands and the sea that will become cities, that will become these other places after their names, after their children's names, after their father's names, or whatever they deem fit to name it. You know? But these people, nah. These people, they're not gonna be able to do that forever, for all generations. No. That is for Jacob. You know, that is for Jacob. You know, listen to this. Here's the 2 Thessalonians chapter 1, starting from verse 6. Look, seeing it is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. You know, and just like in Esther, Mordecai had that had some kind of pole, some kind of thing. What was it? The pole? Something erected that was 50 cubits high that he thought to do the post. You know, the Israelites Mordecai on. He tried to get Israel out of there, but nah. Haman ended up being hung upon that pole. Haman was on that pole for all the kingdom to see, for everybody there to see. And that's gonna happen in the kingdom of heaven. What they gonna say? Is this the man that causes the earth to tremble? Is this the man that caused the earth to tremble? You know? You see? Hey, yo, Mordecai up next, man. Mordecai up next. Jacob, Israel, those 12 tribes is up next. They up next. You know? You know? Verse 6 again. Seeing it is the righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. So I can. And to you who are troubled, rest with us when the Lord Yahweh shall be revealed from heaven with his mighty angels in flaming fire, taking vengeance on them that know not Yahweh, and that obey not the gospel of our Lord Yahweh Mashiach. You see? It's all coming back. It's all coming back, man. It's all coming back. You know, I'm gonna get this one. Listen. This is Psalms chapter 7, verse 13. He have also prepared for him the instrument of death. He ordained his arrows against the persecutors who Esau Edom. Behold, he travaileth with iniquity, and has conceived mischief, and brought forth falsehood. He made a pit and digged it, and is fallen into the ditch which he made. Those things he made for someone else to fall, for someone else downfall, will be for his downfall. Them thermonuclear missiles he thought to wipe everybody off with, to use against everybody else, will be used to destroy him. You know? To put an end to his kingdom. He thought to use it in others' kingdoms. Nah, it will be used to end his kingdom. You know? These people thought that their houses will all continue forever, man. But it's not. It's gonna come with a violent, a fiery, a rocky end. But whose house shall continue forever? Let me get this. This is Revelations, chapter 20, verse 4. Listen, and I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai and for the witness of Yahweh, for the witness of Yahweh Shai, and for the word of Yahweh, in which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither have received his mark upon their foreheads, for in their hands, or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years. Their houses, Jacob's houses, shall continue forever. You know, Mordecai is up next. You know, it's just something I had, something that had came in my mind when I was listening to the Book of Esther, and I had wanted to bring it out. So I hope that was a little bit entertaining and also edifying. So with that, I hope you was edified. Again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, the house of David. Until next time, Yahweh willing, Shalom.